What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Not a Faithful. How's everybody doing? Hope everyone has a legendary week. We are finally here. It is report day for Niners rookies. They will be on the field doing conditioning for the next week until vets report. And then we start training camp. Oh, wow. I didn't even get to get through the intro before he shut up. I thought I'd at least get the intro. But Jason is here in the green room. The dynamic duo will be here for the rest of the year. You get to look at this pretty face and that not so pretty one over there. But Jason's in the back room talking shit. Anyway, yeah, he's just flipping me off. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and go through Niner quarterbacks, our final position breakdown before training camp starts next week. But before we get started with that, we of course got to remind everybody to help out Niner Faithful Radio by using our shop49ers.com affiliate link. Link is in the description of the video and podcast. Go ahead and go to SeatGiant.com. Use the promo code Niner Faithful Radio to save on all your theater, concert, and sporting event tickets, as well as help out the show. Follow us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, and Tumblr at Niner Faithful Radio, and Twitter at Niner Faithful R. Jason does a bang-up job handling our social. Make sure you go to NinerFaithfulRadio.com/subscribe to see everywhere you can subscribe to the show. And, of course, listen to the end of the show for your special 10% coupon code off of all of Season 2 for the Faithful, by the Faithful. I can't speak today. Apparel. Ladies and gentlemen, faithful of all ages, before I mess up anymore, let's get the show cracking.
Rice has just set a Super Bowl record with 12 catches. He's in motion. Montana, touchdown, John Taylor.
What's cracking, Jason? How you doing, bro?
Hey, I'm the pretty one around here, damn it. Oh, shit.
Actually, before we get it started, I actually got to ask you some technical questions. Can you hear my fan through the mic?
No, we can hear mine.
No.
Okay.
Or wait,
I had to bust out with the Xbox headset because even though my headset, my beats
we're fine.
have been plugged in for the last hour, they're still dead. So I might have dead beats.
Yeah.
Which makes me sad.
You see, I'm not rocking my headphones. Went to turn them on to do the show, and I guess my girl forgot to charge them the last time she used them. So
it happens.
Yeah. So really, honestly, I've been looking into getting me my own headphones, just kind of like, fancy ones that have our logo on them or something like that.
Dope.
Yeah. I always like I've become obsessed with the idea. Originally, when I wanted a mic, I wanted to find a custom one where I can basically make it our logo. This would be cool.
Yeah, that'd be pretty tight, actually.
Everything would look like our logo.
Yeah,
that's really what I wanted to do. So, and actually get one of those old school, because that's what our mic is. It's one of those old school, like 50s styles mics.
Yeah.
And so that's actually what I wanted to get, and then paint it gold, and then I would have red headphones, and it would just be the logo. But anyway, good to have you back. I know this is your favorite subject to talk about. You've been waiting all offseason to talk about this, Brad.
Nah, man. I actually hate this one, honestly. Yeah, I've been posting on some of the socials. It's like talking quarterbacks brings out the absolute worst in everybody because, apparently everybody who is a Niner fan ever is a quarterback, guru. We all know what's best. And for some reason, we can't have a civil conversation without it breaking down into name calling, you're a fake fan, and whatever generic insults we want to throw at each other. So it's just like, I hate it. But it has to be done.
I've approached the quarterback position this all offseason to really tell people, like, let's be real, bro. We're talking about our backup quarterback. That's the only discussion that we're having this offseason.
I don't think that's the only one we're having, though.
Well, the only one I've been thinking of, I should say. I should rephrase that. Because honestly, now I don't think that means by any chance our quarterback situation is settled. Like, look, Brock Purdy's name is written in pencil as far as the quarterbacks on the roster right now. Yeah, he's probably the chance I would be given the best expectation as far as quarterbacks that are on the roster right now for starting in 2024 would be Brock Purdy, but that's no guarantee. You know, I think that we liked what we saw. There was plenty to be encouraged about last year, but it was for 8 games.
Yep.
You know, you could probably pick any 8 games in a quarterback's career where they look that good. Maybe not any quarterbacks, but, you know, so.
Anybody who started more than, 3-4 seasons, they probably had a stretch where they looked damn good.
Yeah, I would think. So.
I mean, shit, what's his name went to the fucking Super Bowl and won one?
Joe Flacco.
Yeah, Flacco. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he got hot during the
Trent
playoffs.
Dilfer.
Dilfer. Well, Dilfer wasn't
I mean,
so hot.
he did not win him that Super Bowl. That was clearly the defense and everything like that. But, I mean, if you look
Flacco actually paid his ass off in those playoffs, though.
But he really did. That was like the greatest stretch of his career. Think about this. Trent Dilfer has more Super Bowl rings than Dan Marino.
Yep.
I mean, just saying.
Randall, you could throw Randall Cunningham in that list.
Yeah, you could throw
Warren Moon.
There's
a lot of good quarterbacks you can put on that list.
Hall of Fame quarterbacks.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hall of Fame, like legit quarterback. Like, my uncle, one of my favorite uncles, is a diehard Vikings fan. So I knew a lot about Randall Cunningham.
Yep.
I remember Warren Moon, you know, being black, you know, always looked at the black quarterbacks. Warren Moon was one of the ones that growing up, like I was probably early, couldn't really remember football in this, but I definitely remember the powder blue Oiler jerseys.
No, those are still some of the best jerseys out there.
Yeah, definitely. I like that powder blue color.
Speaking of jerseys, have you seen the Browns' new ones?
No, I have not.
So the Browns now have they have an all white uniform, and now to go with it, they have new all white helmets. Shit looks pretty clean. So it's all white. There's nothing on the sides, and it just has the orange stripe down the middle with 2 brown stripes on the outside of it. I was like, this shit looks pretty clean, actually.
I mean, if your color's brown, which I don't necessarily think is the world's greatest color, but I mean, you know, some of these teams are given shitty colors, so you can only make. I mean, let's be real. Yeah. We talk shit about the Sheepcox lime green forever, you know. So I mean,
but those are universally hated. Everybody hates those uniforms.
Yeah. So I mean,
let me see if I can pull them up.
Even gold, like personally, I love silver more than gold, you know, and everything like that.
Yeah.
But I do think, personally, actually, when I was younger. My favorite Niner jerseys are the mid-90s ones. Those are actually my favorite Niner jerseys. Not the throwbacks we have now, but the mid-90s that had the stripes on the sleeves and the logo on the sleeve.
That's when we grew up, though.
That's my Niner football. When I talk about Niner football, I grew up. Those are the jerseys.
Yeah.
But personally, I've always thought our red and silver jerseys looked the hardest.
I wish we would go back to just one game.
Just like if you're gonna indeed, because this is what frustrates me as a person, as a self-proclaimed Niner historian. This is what pisses me off, and everybody calls him the 94. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, bro. That actually is kind of hard.
I'm telling you, dude, they're fucking nice.
Yeah, that's not.
But like you said, because if you look at it, it's a really dark brown. It might even be black.
Yeah, that looks the stripe definitely looks black.
It looks black. But I mean, I like clean, simple uniforms like that. That's a good look for the Browns.
Yeah, I would. I mean.
I've
always wondered why, because to me that the cities whose colors look the hardest have always been Pittsburgh, and I've always liked the fact that all their teams are black and yellow.
Yeah, I love how
I've always loved that. Now with the Niners, it's with the Bay Area, it's a little difficult since majority of our teams actually did not start here. The Giants didn't start here, the A's didn't start here, the Warriors didn't start here. Matter of fact, actually, the only Bay teams that started here are the Niners and the Sharks. And yeah, sure. I mean, I love black and teal. I love our jerseys and everything, but I mean, I was actually mad when the Ravens talking about. I know this is kind of random, but I was actually mad that the Ravens didn't play black and orange because I think Baltimore has some of the hardest baseball jerseys.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm also partial because I'm a Giants fan. Anyway, so when we're talking about quarterbacks, I mean, it is definitely, we're going to have this discussion next offseason. Kirk Cousins being a free agent. Hell, I mean, depending on what the quarterback situation is like during the season, there might even be talks of us trading for Kirk Cousins during the season, depending on how the Vikings season goes. And
timeout. Have you watched that Netflix series, The Quarterbacks, yet?
No.
Dude, I'm just going to say this right now. So right now it's got behind-the-scenes access to Kirk Cousins, Patrick Mahomes, and Marcus Mariota. I still always like Marcus Mariota. I hate Patrick Mahomes even worse, mostly because I can't stand his wife. I'm not gonna lie, I can't.
I hate his Kermit the Frog ass.
Well, plus his little brother, the one that's all doing the dancing and bullshit. Whichever one, but you know what I mean. The one that's always in the news. And all that, but I can't stand because of him. But Kirk Cousins, I ain't gonna be mad if we got him. I don't think I'd be mad. And I'm not talking about like his on the field performance. I'm talking about what you see off the field is what you want your quarterback to have. Now,
yeah.
We can argue about the whole on the field and everything, but man, watching the behind the scenes stuff like that, dude, Kirk Cousins is the dude I want to hang out with. And that's
you know, the thing about him, and you know, he's corny and all those, and
he's even cornier in real life on that show.
Yeah, you know, and all that, and you know, I figure the Niners have had some pretty cool quarterbacks. I mean, literally Joe Cool. You know, definition of cool. Steve always seemed like a cool dude. He seemed like a little nerdy, but he was still one of the guys, you know, and everything like that. Like he was a lawyer and a Mormon, but you know, he like, you know, you could see him playing cards and you know, he was a prankster and all that.
Yeah.
Jeff Garcia struck me as a guy who thinks he's cooler than he actually is, especially since I know people who know him personally.
Yeah, I could see him overthinking himself, kind of thing.
Yeah, and he's kind of like, I'll never forget the him saying that Trey had his permission to wear number 5, and I was like, all right, let's calm down, Jeff. Like, yeah, I was like, let's calm down there.
We like you now, but it's not like me.
Yeah, like, let's be real, bro. Like the comeback against the Giants was nice. You know, love that. Burned into my image. Forever will remember that game, but you know. I also remember that Whackers game the week after that, you know, didn't end so pretty. I'm sorry, not the Whackers, the Bucks game. Anyway, so let's see, we got a comment. Oh,
what's up, Brian?
Brian, bruh, I told you, hit me on social. We'll get you on the show. You're supposed to be on the show with us this week. Next week, we're actually doing our rookies to watch and all that type of pre-camp shit. Because the week after that, we will be doing the show not from camp, but we will be doing the show from Levi's. I'm going to have you host that, Jason. That way, if I drop, it doesn't fuck up the whole show.
Yeah, we talked about it.
But, we'll talk about that. We'll get it all set up. But to me, I'm excited this year about the quarterbacks because every quarterback, I think, is going to have an opportunity. Because beyond what we said about, it's only 8 games and everything, which I'm bullish on Brock Purdy. He also has to prove his health. Now I understand anybody could get hurt like that. You know, fluke play. I honestly hope, even though he won't admit it, Kyle learned his whatever. You know, probably will never happen again in NFL history. You know, but you have to go back and look at the Shanahan era and say the only year we've had a quarterback play every game. Oh, I met Jeff Garcia. He lied, tried to tell me he wasn't Garcia, but he was a coach. That's funny. Actually, okay, so real quick, I actually have a Jeff Garcia. He knew one of my group home staff was the quarterback. Hit me on Twitter, bro. Whenever you have us, go ahead and hit me. So one of my group home staff was at Gavilan College when Bob Greasy was the head coach. So he was actually in Bob Greasy's office having a quarterbacks meeting when Bill Walsh called saying that they wanted to try out Jeff Garcia for a tryout to come play for the Niners. Mikkel was actually in his office. So apparently Mikkel told me this story that they're in Tahoe, right? And this is during Jeff's playing career. They're at Tahoe during like the off season, their bye week or whatever. They're in Tahoe. And obviously, you know, they're drinking, having a good time. Everybody knows Jeff Garcia liked to drink. they're drinking, having a good time and everything like that. And this chick comes over, recognizes Jeff Garcia, like, oh, hey, will you sign my tits? You know, Jeff Garcia was all feeling like, fuck yeah, you know, signing tits and everything like that. And they walked up to Mikkel and they go, oh, are you a Niner? And Mikkel looked at Jeff Garcia and goes, Jeff, what should I tell him? She goes, fuck it, tell him you're a linebacker, bro. And Mikkel's like, yeah, I play linebacker. Woo-doo-woo. Ends up signing this chick's tit and everything. But yeah, that's my little Jeff Garcia story. But anyway, I'm excited because each quarterback I think is going to have an opportunity. Obviously, Trey and Sam Darnold, mostly during camp, we all hope.
Yeah. That was the Brian.
Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate. Oh, okay. I just saw a comment. Anyway, so this is why we need an actual producer. If you live in the San Jose area and would love to produce NFR, please contact us.
You don't have to live there. You can have anybody behind the scenes
That's
do
true.
it. Like,
that's true.
So I mean, like technically, one of us should just be doing it, but we both kind of tend to do it.
Yeah. So really, honestly, if Kim was more tech savvy, that's why actually, honestly, I never had Kim become producer. Was because she doesn't really want to. But Kim would actually be perfect to be behind the scenes and handling all this. But anyway, so each one I think is going to have an opportunity. Now, excluding Brock Purdy from the quarterback conversation, because I think he's pretty well set. He's healthy, available to be on the field. He will be our starting quarterback.
I think that's probably 95% of agreement.
For
most
unless
people.
Brian Allen or somebody just blows the Niners away in camp. And honestly, I would feel kind of upset about that just because Brock's done it in games. You know, that means a lot more than a practice mid-July or late July.
I think they'd get rid of Sam Darnold first.
Yeah. I would say I would believe it from Sam Darnold more than I would say Trey.
I actually want to see Sam Darnold balled out in practice. That way we can trade him right before the season starts. Honestly, that is my hope. Go Sam Darnold.
Brian Allen? I'd be down for
That's
that.
practice, and then have you know Trey or Brock. That's the way I'd prefer it, to be honest with you.
Because my before we actually break down everything, I want to ask you this, Jason. Do we keep 4 quarterbacks this year? 3 on the active roster, 1 on the practice squad?
Nah, because they got that new rule, so we don't really need that.
And that's what I'm thinking. That's what I was even thinking. Like, because to me, if you could, because it's not going to be Trey, it's not going to be Sam Darnold, and it's not going to be Brock. None of them are getting cut and making it into the practice squad.
Nah.
Brian Allen, to me, would be the only one that you could possibly have a chance of convincing. And my sale to him would be literally look at every year besides 2019 with this quarterback, this franchise. Every quarterback on the roster has played. Even quarterbacks we didn't even have to start the year have played on this franchise.
We have quarterbacks that don't play quarterback.
I mean, really, honestly,
that's how deep we go. We have people who throw the ball who don't even play quarterback.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, what Debo has a touchdown pass, Emmanuel Sanders, Raheem Mostert. I mean,
we always get the ball. Somebody, you're guaranteed
CMC?
At least maybe 5 a year where you're going to get a pass from someone not a quarterback.
I would believe that.
I'd say about 5 a year.
I would what? 20 shit. There were two in that 8th game in 2019. There was the throw by Emmanuel Sanders.
I remember. Who was the other one then?
Raheem Mostert.
Those were the same game? I thought they were different games.
Yeah. No, I could have swore they were the same game. I could have swore. Because Raheem, or no, you might be right. You're right. Because Raheem's went to Emmanuel Sanders. I know that.
Yeah.
In the 8th game. And I could have swore Emmanuel Sanders threw one too.
Yeah.
I could have swore. I'm tripping. Maybe I'm tripping. But yeah, definitely. So that would be my sell to Brian Allen would be, hey, quarterbacks play for this franchise. Yeah, Brandon Allen practice squad. I'm totally down because I'm curious to see what he looks like because he's been the backup for Joe Burrow his whole career, I believe.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of talk that he actually was really good at being the person who almost like a second quarterback coach and helped Burrows, like I said, as a backup. That's kind of what you're supposed to do initially, but he's gotten a lot of praise, like more than what you would normally expect a backup quarterback to get, as far as getting somebody ready to play in a game. So that's kind of interesting that we picked him up, especially when we have two younger quarterbacks. Trey's been around for a couple of years now, and then Brock's going into year 2. So you definitely want someone who's really good at preparing other people. And it seems like I've heard a lot of talk to also that like he's naturally going to be a quarterbacks coach, in the future. So again, an interesting pickup in him.
Yeah, I love it, especially when, regardless of,
surprise the world,
surprise us all. I mean, we'll get to Sam Darnold here in a second. I love that because as much as Brock was prepared and everything, and we all know Trey's worked hard, neither of them have prepared for 17 weeks of an NFL season. And I'm not even talking about game planning and all that. I'm talking about getting your mind right, getting your body right, when to know paralysis by over-analysis.
Yeah.
I think that actually is quite a detriment to young players in general, but especially quarterbacks, because you want to overstudy. You want to know everything. You want to know every angle and everything. And sometimes that can be too much. And so striking that balance, because, I mean, let's be real. One of the most key contributors to Cap's success in 2012 was Alex Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Maiocco talks about all the time of Alex Smith going up to the coaches saying, take that out. He doesn't want that in there. He can't do that. Put that in, and all that going up to the coaches. So there's a lot of work that a backup quarterback does, especially a veteran quarterback with a young quarterback that we'll never even hear nor see.
Mm-hmm.
And so I definitely think keeping a backup, a veteran quarterback that is not Sam Darnold, who, let's be real, has been a starter, but somebody who's, I don't want to say humble because that's the wrong word, but somebody who knows their role. I mean, this has been the man's career. He's been a career backup. Yeah. He's comfortable in that role. He knows exactly what to do. I mean, let's be real. How many times has Sam Darnold been a backup quarterback in his life?
Just last year when he was a backup to Baker Mayfield start the year.
I mean, and fine, we heard. Look, you're naive if you don't think that Kyle talked to CMC before bringing Sam Darnold on his team. Now, I'm not going to say that CMC is what sold it, but Kyle had a conversation.
Wilkes too.
Oh, and Coach Wilkes too. Definitely, I think definitely Coach Wilkes too, because Christian would probably the player side. Hey, how's he in the locker room? How did he take it and everything? Coach Wilkes would definitely be the coaching aspect. Is like, hey, how coachable is he? Because
and he played good hard when Wilkes took over that team.
Yeah,
I mean, they were really damn good at, but I mean, they were leading the league. They had more yards per carry in game, I think, than even we did those last couple weeks. He played very Jimmy Garoppolo style, like nothing crazy fan, but he was just making dink passes here and there.
We've proven, it's not as fun, but we've proven we can win a lot of football games with the quarterback playing like Jimmy Garoppolo. Matter of fact, I'm okay. I never understood the Jimmy hate. I never understood the Jimmy hate as far as his health, of course, your versatility is availability. But I never understood the 1 yard and the Jimmy, Jimmy backwards pass and all that. Like, I mean, it wins football games, right? And I'm old enough to remember when quarterback play used to cost the Niner football games. Like, I'm old enough to remember that. Like, what y'all know about JT O'Sullivan? Holla at your boy. All right, Rick Meyer. Like, Cody Pickett. Like, let's be real here. So I never understood the Jimmy hate.
How are you gonna leave out the best name?
JT O'Sullivan, baby.
No, the best name. The best named.
Tim Rattay?
Nah. Jim Druckenmiller, man.
Jim Druckenmiller. Druckenmiller.
If nothing else, that name is one of the greatest names in history.
It really is. Man, I wish we did offer the Jets a first-round pick before we drafted Trey. I mean, look, Kyle's love affair from Sam Darnold.
Oh, it's known. It's very well known.
Well publicized. So ultimately,
we'd have been stupid
we'll start off with this, first. Jason. Trey or Sam?
Talking about for what? So who to start with?
Yeah. Brock's not ready week 1. Who trots out when the O gets out there?
I've said this pretty much this whole offseason that for me, Trey does not have to be as good as either Darnold or Brock was.
Oh my God,
me.
bro! You just brought me up fucking nightmares, cuz. Why did you do that to me, Bryant? I thought
Detmer,
we were cool,
wasn't Ty Detmer the skinniest person ever to play quarterback? By the way, he was the skinniest person I've ever seen play. How did he not get killed?
Bro, I have PTSD now, bro. Like,
but so I don't need Trey with as much investment that we've had to get him. To me, Trey doesn't need to be as good as either Brock Purdy, Sam Darnold, Brandon Allen, anybody else that's on this roster. He needs to be better, and he needs to be better by leaps and bounds, because otherwise the same bullshit is going to go back into his head. The same shit that we hear, you're constantly going to hear it over and over and over. I want Trey to be good, but I need him to be better than everybody. If we're going to play him, he needs to just be above and beyond everybody. Simply to shut everybody the fuck up.
And that's a difficult ask.
It is, but I still believe in Trey. You know what I mean? I mean, you remember? You remember that train I was on? I was the fucking leader.
You were the driver of the Trey train, bro. You were the driver. I will never deny that.
I need Trey to be better than everybody else, simply to shut everybody the fuck up. Because if he's just as good as Purdy or just as good as Sam Darnold, we're having the same conversation throughout the entire season. He needs to be on that elite status almost to get everybody to back off of it.
I believe that. I mean, to me, if the season started today, I believe it would be Sam Darnold. And the reason I believe Sam Darnold is because if it was just going to be given to Trey Lance, they wouldn't have brought Sam Darnold in.
If you start Sam Darnold week 1, you break Trey Lance, in my opinion. I honestly think you break him. Everything is completely wasted off of him because that shoots his confidence.
I believe. See, now I want to make sure I say this carefully. I believe at that point, Trey, the best thing for Trey, maybe not the best thing for the Niners, but the best thing for Trey, if he does not win the backup job, is to trade him and get him.
Oh yeah, I mean, if he's that broken, he's no longer an asset to this team.
I think that it was an experiment. You know, I believe that it's quarterback luck that we've had, which is weird to say because we've been one of the most unlucky as far as quarterback injuries. Yeah. But quarterback luck is that in the sense that not drafting and developing a quarterback has not hurt Shanahan as far as wins. 2017 and 2018 were chalked up, right? We all knew that. I mean, 2018, I still say we would have pushed for a wild card. You know, in 2018. I believe we would have pushed. Maybe not gotten it, but we would have definitely been that, you know, we would have been the Lions of this year.
I was about to say, we'd have been the Lions where this
everybody would have been like in 2018, if everything gone right, Jimmy stays healthy, all that, we would have been the team in 2019. People would have said, "Hey, watch out for the Niners. They're gonna."
There'd be all those ESPN.
Yeah, they're gonna be surprising people this year.
Yeah.
Now, who knows? We would have not got Nick Bosa. Do we sign D Ford to pair him with Nick? You know, fine. But, you know, 2019, you get Jimmy back, go to the Super Bowl. 2021, you draft Trey. You know, obviously, you know, with the plan that you're going to start Trey. 2022 comes, Trey gets hurt. You know, instead of the season being fucked, you got you have Jimmy as a backup. Jimmy gets hurt, and all of a sudden, Mr. Irrelevant comes out and is one of the best stories in NFL history. So we've been lucky in the sense. So I do not want to trade Trey Lance. Why would you trade a quarterback that I'm not going to say healthy-wise or anything right, but why would you – we don't know what Trey is. So why would you trade a quarterback when odds tell you he's going to have to play significant snaps for you this year? Why would you trade a quarterback? So I'm on the bandwagon of that all three are going to make the roster: Brock Purdy, Trey Lance, and Sam Darnold. Now, who's one, who's two, and who's three? Ultimately, I do think it'll be Trey. Now, it might not be Trey to start the year, but I do think eventually Trey Lance will be the backup quarterback on this team and maybe even the starter, depending on health and other things. just because I believe there's been enough of a sample size. He's the opposite of Trey Lance. Trey Lance, we say we can't say what he is because we don't have enough sample size. Even Brock Purdy. One of the main things the detractors of Brock Purdy say is, cool, anybody can look great for 18 games. Now do it for 17, week after week after week after week.
Yeah.
But Sam Darnold's the opposite. We've seen what Sam Darnold does. I mean, how many career games does he have?
Terrible. Look at his interception rate, his fumble rate. He is terrible.
I'll tell you right now, he has a total of 56 games he's played in. So I'll give you his full stat line.
It's terrible.
56 games, 55 started, 1,054 completions, 1,765 attempts, 11,767 yards, a 6.7 average, 61 picks to 55 TDs, sacked 143 times, has a passer rate of 78.2. I don't even know what this last one is. Oh, that's running.
So I'm just gonna tell you,
fumbles 35 and he's lost 13. So he's committed a total of 68. He's committed a total of 68 turnovers and a total of 56 career games.
Terrible.
That's not good.
He's terrible.
He's terrible. Now, I do agree with you, Bryant, is that anybody who's a fan of Sam Darnold and says, hey, we haven't seen him with Kyle. We all know the Kyle boost quarterbacks get. It's a real thing. This man went to the playoffs with Matt Schaub, who wasn't a scrub.
No, Matt Schaub was okay for 3 or 4 years. Then he got hurt, and then it just kind of went downhill from there.
I mean, Kyle's definitely, there's been better quarterbacks out there. So we saw what he did. I mean, when Nick Mullins is in the NFL history books with Peyton Manning, Dan Marino, and Patrick Mahomes, I mean, that tells you what Kyle Shanahan can do.
His top level is Jimmy. And
over Matt Ryan?
No, I'm talking about Sam Darnold. His highest level.
His highest level is Jimmy. Which honestly, we can start to see now. When you know, regardless of what you believe, Mac Jones was an option at 3. Just on the table. I'm not saying that's who they're going to go with. I'm not saying they made the trade with Mac Jones, but Mac Jones was an option at 3.
Well, right? Yeah, because he would have just been Mac Jones is what Brock Purdy.
He would have been the insert younger Jimmy here and just keep it rolling.
Yeah.
So at 12, do I think we draft Mac Jones? Yeah, probably. If we would have just originally stayed at 12.
If we'd stayed there, I think most people would have jumped there because Trey and Justin Fields would have been gone, and Trevor Lawrence would have all been gone.
Trevor Lawrence would have all been gone.
Yeah. Probably at that point, we might not have even gone quarterback. We probably would have gone somewhere. There's so much
because the Patriots probably trade up to take Mac Jones, and
that was a really good top 10, top 15 draft.
Yeah, it would have definitely been hairy. But I mean, and it's so funny because Trevor Lawrence is the only slam dunk.
He's played.
He's the only slam dunk quarterback you definitely see get. Trevor Lawrence is getting a second contract.
Well, I'll say this: Justin Fields has honestly played with probably the worst
supporting cast,
the worst roster in football since he's been in the league.
Very true. Very true.
So there is that with the whole Justin Fields situation, but the roster has gotten better this offseason. They've got a ton of picks coming in, so we'll see what happens with them. But yeah, I mean,
the Bears. Everybody talks about the Lions. The Bears can be that sneaky team that if they hit on some of those picks, bruh.
Yeah.
They hit on some of that pick. And the division, the NFC North is wide open. NFC is wide, NFC North's wide open. So, honestly, my money would be on Minnesota. But that's just because, who else do you got that's proven in that division? When
you got
Minnesota 113.
Jefferson and Cousins up there and all those guys.
Exactly.
Don't have Alvin Cook anymore, though. He's still out there.
So it's going to be definitely fun in the NFC North. So I think Sam Darnold will show us what Sam Darnold is.
Good.
So
Let him do that. Then we trade him.
then
we trade him.
Cut him. We trade him. Trey gets the job by default. But I hate the assumption of the fact that Trey Lance can't get better. I'm a firm believer. I believe in the core of my soul that if you dedicate your something, make it your passion, make it your life's ambition, which everything we've heard about Trey is that he's 100% football, you're only going to get better at something the more you do it, the more you practice, the more you train, the more you study, the more you work at it, the better you'll get. You're not going to get worse.
Yeah.
What I think Trey's problem will be is, yeah, cool, you worked out with Christensen this offseason. Reworked your release and worked on your mechanics and all those beautiful things. That's awesome. That was on air. When bullets start flying and it's real true muscle memory, what do you do then? That's my worry with Trey. I think if you wind up Trey right now on an empty football field, he could probably show you perfect mechanics.
Well,
you definitely look at him.
Sam Darnold does.
Oh yeah,
If
you looked at Trey Lance right now, just on an empty field, throwing on air to Brandon Ayuk, you would say, I see why the Niners took him number 3 overall. I believe that. I believe Trey Lance has improved that much.
We're talking about practice, man.
But exactly, you're talking about practice. Same thing. Do I think Matt Maiocco was over-exaggerating when he said Sam Darnold might be the best thrower of the football that Niners have ever had? No. We all know Joe didn't have the strongest arm.
No, he's always has been great. It's easy to throw when nothing's coming at you. All that
that's what I'm saying.
When no one's around you, he can throw a pretty ball. Hell, my balls don't look that bad either.
For real. Truthfully, honestly, if what Matt Maiocco said, and let's be real, this is a man that saw Steve play. This is a man that been a part of Niner history. I would pay money to see him go up against Cap, because I would look at Matt Maiocco and be like, all respect, Mr. Maiocco, my money's on Cap, bro, for best thrower of the football. Like, I'm sorry, Cap threw one of the best, prettiest deep balls and
deep balls, yeah, he just couldn't throw.
Yeah, he couldn't throw a touch. That was Cap's problem.
He had no touch to himself.
Cap was throwing a 99-mile-an-hour fastball every throw.
Sam is Trey Lance on another team?
Sam is just Trey Lance on another team, maybe.
They're both number 3 picks. But to counter that, the only difference is Darnold has gotten the time to play and show what he can show, which hasn't been great, where Trey hasn't.
Exactly.
So, that's where it comes down to. Trey, he needs the reps. We've always said he needs the reps.
We said that with the draft night. We said that on our draft show.
Yeah.
We said the reason I was excited. Now, we all know, we don't all know. For those who watch the show know, I was Justin Fields. I wanted the Niners to draft Justin Fields. The reason I wasn't tripping, my exact first words were, thank you, Jesus, is not Mac Jones. That was literally my reaction to the draft.
I think that was most people's first words, to be honest with you.
That was literally my first, as it came out of my mouth, the first words that came out of my mouth was, thank you, Jesus, is not Mac Jones. The reason I was okay with taking Trey is I was like, yeah, he needs to develop. Well, that's why you got Jimmy. Mm-hmm. So we were all okay. The problem with Trey Lance, and why ultimately I do think, barring some crazy scenario happening, the best thing for Trey personally is probably to be on another football team, is simply, unfortunately, what was happening. The Niners timeline matches no longer with Trey Lance's timeline. The Niners are a win now football team. Trey Lance is not, as we've seen him so far, is not a win now quarterback. That doesn't mean that Trey Lance can go out and beat Pittsburgh week 1. But do I think Trey Lance is racking off 12 straight wins? Probably not. Especially when you're going against Baltimore, when you're going against the Cry Girls, when you're going against some of these better defenses that we're going to face this year. That
Steeler defense week 1 is insane. If you look at some of the what they do week 1,
TJ Watt,
yeah,
in Pittsburgh, does have more experience. Good and bad experience is better than there's no experience.
And that's why I say I've tried arguing with people who just want to give up on Trey. I'm like, you don't know what you have here. Oh, he's played 4 games. Yeah, okay. You want to say he's played 4 games? Sure. One of them was in a literal typhoon.
You know what we're gonna do? We're going to pull up Joe Montana's first 4 games right now.
Yeah, you can do that. But like I said, as you had stated earlier, you don't get better at something by just sitting and reading something. Yeah, you have the knowledge of something like that really good, but until you go out there and, was it what Mike Tyson used to say? Everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the mouth. Yeah, so you have to take that punch to the jaw and see how you react. And we will never know with Trey until, and even me, who is as big Trey stan as you can find, I am actually worried because it's been 4 full years since he has played a significant amount of football. That's a lot of time for someone not to be playing football. And so, but I'm willing to give up. Are you willing to give up the first, say, 4 games to see what you have with Trey? What if we went
4 games?
What if you said, okay, so hypothetically, we go 2-2. Trey averages 250, and he's at that point he's got, let's say, 5 touchdowns, 4 interceptions at the week 4. You gonna keep him?
How has he looked?
I'm saying just throw an average out there, like you say. So he's throwing for about 250, very Jimmy S type numbers. You know what I mean? 1 touchdown, 1 pick a game, 250, maybe a 300-yard game in there in a blowout somewhere. Do you still keep on that Trey? So you give that 4 weeks for Brock to get ready for you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So So Brock comes back healthy. Do you insert Brock then, or would you just keep running the Trey to try and see what you got longer term?
I mean, to me, if all things are created, you have to give it to Trey Lance. We have way more invested in him.
Exactly.
I mean, okay, so this is Joe Montana's first 4 career games. This might not be starts. Matter of fact, it wasn't. But he was 4 of 6 for 10 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, his first game action. So, okay, this probably was when he starts. He was 21 of 23, 63% completion percentage, 253 yards, and 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Second, Niners lost 26-48. Second game, 21 of 37, 56.8% completion, 253 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Third game, 24 of 31, 74.4% passing, 200 yards, and a touchdown and a pick. And fourth game, 6 of 11, 54.5% pass completion, 51 yards, no picks, no touchdowns. Does that scream to you greatest quarterback of all time?
What was their record during those games?
0-4.
In this day and age, I have to
put an asterisk on this. To put an asterisk on this, you're talking about the 1980 San Francisco 49ers.
Well, yeah, but I'm thinking if no matter what the stats are, I almost think if we start 0-4, I don't think there's going to be any hope. Only because at that point everybody's going to be in panic mode, and so I think they pull the plug, and whether Brock's ready or we go to Sam Darnold, dude. The Steelers week 1 are an amazing team under Mike Tomlin. Especially because they're going to be coming off a fresh set, new things that you haven't seen before. They're going to be able to throw all this new stuff at you. Mike Tomlin is amazing in week 1 games, especially like I said, you got TJ Watt.
I mean,
on that other side, he's going to line over McKivitz the entire time. I don't see Watt ever going.
For those people who think we're going to roll through Pittsburgh and put up 35 and we're going to be able to kick our feet up midway through the third quarter and just get drunk the rest of the, fourth quarter and everything like that, bro, you're smoking rocks.
It can happen, but realistically, it's not going to.
Pittsburgh, it's really, honestly, I see it one of those games that's a 12-match boxing ring the first half, and then slowly but surely as we get on later into the third and to the fourth quarter, you see that the fact that the Niners are a better overall football team, and Debo will be Deboing, Brandon Ayuk. It's the same thing we said all last year. Most teams in the NFL don't have enough defensive weapons to line up with Brandon Ayuk, Debo, George Kittle, and CMC, and Juwan, et cetera, play after play after play for 4 quarters. Most teams don't have the D for that. Yeah. And I think that's eventually what you're going to see in Pittsburgh. But Man, I wouldn't be surprised if we go into halftime down like 17-3.
And honestly, I kind of like Kenny Pickett. I wasn't big on the pick when they selected Kenny Pickett, especially because he's the hometown kid, played in Pittsburgh, played college in the same damn stadium as he's playing in now. And I was like, I don't know about that, but he kind of shaky at times. But if you look at him over the season, he was getting better as a quarterback over the course of the season.
I think, everybody talks about the pressure and playing for your hometown team. Like Barry Bonds has came out and always said, I'm so grateful to the Pittsburgh Pirates for drafting me because I could have not been the player that I became if I was drafted by the Giants. There just simply would have been too much pressure considering my godfather is the greatest baseball player to ever play. And definitely the greatest Giant to ever put on a uniform is Willie Mays. That's Barry Bonds' godfather. And his father was Bobby Bonds. And there just would have been too much pressure. If he was drafted by the Giants. So, but I'm such a big component of up here mentally, the mental side of the game, motivation. What's your motivation? Brian Griese, what did he say? The first quarterback meeting they had last year, what did they talk about? They talked about what's your why? Why are you playing in the NFL? And motivation. Why are you going there week after week when you don't feel good, when you don't feel like it? Why are you, doing this? That is because the money can only motivate you so much.
Yeah.
Because when it's week 15 and you can't feel your freaking ankle, because it's so numb from whatever the hell they're shooting in you.
The cortisone shots.
Yeah, cortisone shots. That $60,000 check when you've already had 14 of them doesn't look as as appealing as maybe it did week 1. And so I'm a firm believer that Cody Pickett, look, he's not going to be a superstar or whatever. I mean, we don't know, but I think the Pittsburgh took the right player because I believe that you're going to find no more motivated quarterback in the league to make sure their team's successful more than Cody Pickett. How could you not want the team you grew up rooting for? The reason you play football, the reason you play quarterback was probably because of Ben Roethlisberger. Let's be real. Cody Pickett grew up a Steelers fan. And the reason he plays quarterback is probably because his favorite player was Ben Roethlisberger. And it's week 1, and funny shit happens week 1.
Yeah. And Kyle isn't the greatest coach week 1.
And it's the East Coast. So, I mean, I don't know about East Coast weather as much as, I do at West Coast, but
it should be all right. It should be decent.
So, I mean, I would assume so. But
it'll probably be a lot like, probably be, let's say, 80s. I don't know if it's a normal sunny besides raining, but it should probably be 70 to 80.
Well, we'll talk to Kim. Maybe we'll bring on Kim on the pregame show week 1 to talk about the weather because, she doesn't live that far from Pittsburgh. Or maybe she lives closer to Philly. I can't remember if she lives closer to Philly or closer to Pittsburgh. But, so... Okay, then let me ask you this, Jason. Reframe your question. Who gives us a better chance to win week 1, Trey Lance or Sam Darnold?
I'm still going with Trey. Because I think most teams are already going to have a read on Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold, yeah.
The jury is still out on Trey Lance. And again, how far the mechanics have changed, what, has he changed the whole, as far as the mindset, maybe now he's less run-orientated compared to what he was before. Maybe these last 4 years, maybe he does see a defense, be able to read a secondary like no one's business because he's just sat and watched for so long. So now he needs to do it. So I don't, unless he is absolutely horrible, I don't see a reason to start him over Sam Darnold.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Pittsburgh, I'm gonna be, or Baltimore, I'm gonna be there. I mean, historically, we struggled against Baltimore, at least more in Baltimore than Baltimore. But last time they were out here, we won. That was like Tom Sula's first win, I think it was. But anyway,
all this, and we haven't even talked much on Purdy yet.
So okay, yeah, great transition, Jason. So ultimately, you say Trey, backup Trey. Trey is the backup.
To start? No, you need to start Trey. You start Trey. The only way he is a backup, and again, we go to week 8, and we're just not, I think Trey needs to start week 1.
I do too.
And when it comes to Brock, most people agree the longer he gets to rest and rehab, does his elbow and everything not get better? So you have until week 10? Was it 9, 10? We have the bye. If you start Trey between then and there, you're going to have
10, something like that.
Yeah, I can't think off the top of my head. So at the very least, you have to start him until then, unless you have everything the wheels are just falling off completely, and the play is so bad that we're losing the locker room, and it's week 6 and guys are already giving up with the season. Then I think you go into a little bit of panic mode. Then you have to insert, whether it be if Darnold's still around or Purdy if he's ready to go, anything. But that's worst case scenario.
Yeah. Big shout out, Juan. I see you from the 5280 Mile High Niners. Good looking. Good to see you. Are you coming out? Drop in the comments, Juan. Are you coming out here from Denver when Broncos come out for the preseason? Let me know. It'll be our time to host you. Juan was the one. The 5280 Mile High was a Niner Empire chapter that took care of us last year when we went to Denver. Were real hospitable to us. So I got mad love for him. Yeah, I mean, to me, healthy, ready to go, you gotta start Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy's not ready to go, then yeah, I believe you start Trey. You have to. I mean, because if you're not going to start Trey Lance, then why is he on this football team?
Exactly.
I mean, really. Like, yeah, he's a healthy quarterback and he's an asset and all that. And fine, realistically, let's be real, Trey's probably on this football team because nobody gave the Niners what they wanted. Or anything worth
and I'll say, let's be honest, we probably overvalued what we thought he
was
worth
definitely
on the market. So
there's
people probably wanted a first or a second, and you're not getting that, and unfortunately for him right now.
Hell no. Not getting a first. You're I would be doing cartwheels if the Niners got a third.
Well, it's just like with last offseason where they were like, the Broncos offered 2 seconds for Jimmy and they didn't take the offer. Like, that's because they fucking didn't. Because if they were offering 2 seconds for Jimmy, then bye.
Bye, yeah.
It's just like, why would you not have taken that when you have artists?
You got your initial investment back in the second rounder, and then you got an additional second rounder. Like,
yeah.
That's
plus, at that point, you had all that commodity spent already in Trey. So at that point, you're just building back up.
Not knowing that eventually you were going to need Jimmy.
Yeah. Hindsight's always 20/20, though.
Of course. Going into Brock. See, I'm not with you. I'm if he's ready to go, you rock and roll. Because.
So you're giving up on Trey?
I have not given up on Trey.
If you start,
I've given up
on Trey.
Look.
You can't have your cake and eat it too. It's one way.
Do I think Trey Lance is going to overall prove himself to be worthy of the 3rd overall pick? Not for the Niners. But am I ready to give up and say he's a bust? No.
Peace out, Brian.
All right, Brian. Good to see you, bro. Thanks for stopping by. Am I ready to say he's a bust? No, you haven't seen enough for him to say he's a bust. Now, eventually you will get to a point where you can't keep on saying, hey, we haven't seen enough. It is possible to be a bust just simply because you can't get on the field because of injury. That is a possibility. So, yes, it is possible. But as far as play-wise, I mean, let's not forget, what was it? Was it to Juwan Jennings or Brandon Ayuk? That crosser that Trey threw last year, week 1 in Chicago? I think it was or maybe it was Juwan Jennings.
Ooh, it's a hot take.
They would have traded if we won the Super Bowl. They would have traded Trey.
Traded Trey last year and just run with Brock if he stays.
I mean, if Brock was
I can't
healthy,
argue that one. I really can't.
If Brock Purdy led us to the Super Bowl last year, Trey Lance is not on the football team.
Yeah, I don't.
If Jimmy Garoppolo. Okay, no. If Jimmy Garoppolo,
you said bye on there, so I thought you were leaving, brother.
Oh, so you're bringing you were talking about the bye week. Duh. Would you? I'm if Trey Lance, I get you, bro. If Trey Lance or if Brock Purdy is healthy, you have to start. Because it's not so much what Jason and I think or have seen last year. Like anybody who watched this football team under Shanahan, that was a different football team that when Brock Purdy was out there. Probably, I would say starting probably a Tampa game. You know, I think that's when Kyle started to get a little comfortable. When he put up that performance against Todd Bowles, who's known for handing rookie quarterbacks their lunch,
Todd Bowles,
and against Tom Brady, I mean, like, Kyle's probably the one who doesn't look quarterback versus quarterback comparisons. But, I mean, I think that has a little bit, like, I mean, that's Tom Brady in his homecoming to the Bay Area.
Yeah.
In his final season.
You knew he was pumped for that one.
Yeah, and you went out there and you outperformed Tom Brady. Now, more props to the Niners D for that. But Brock Purdy could have shit down his leg. It could have been a 10-3 game like the Aints game was. Or 17-3 game like the Aints game was. So, Kyle is telling you what he thinks about Brock Purdy. Because Kyle has not called a game like that, like he called for Brock, especially that Raider game. He's not called a game like that for Jimmy since
he kind of had to go with that with the Raiders game because the Raiders were just playing on point that night.
Bro,
I mean, he had to kind of just throw out the normal.
That was their Super Bowl.
Yeah, as I'm saying, like he had to. That was probably not what we expected to play when we played them. For them to all of a sudden just start, it's a brand new quarterback for them, all that kind of stuff. That's
I thought we were going to mop the floor with them.
Yeah, but that's the whole new quarterback, bump that everybody seems to get.
Well, yeah, and you're re-energized, and let's be real. I mean, I personally don't feel that there's not as much rivalry from the players. There can't be as much rivalry from the players.
No, that's all fan related.
And I mean, sure, my boy Raul, who I'm sure you'll see on social media. Everybody who's my friend on social media, you see my boy talking shit all the time. Does he still say fuck the Niners and all that and everything like that? Yeah. But I mean,
players.
Do I feel? Thanks, bro. I appreciate that. We've been doing this for a while. Do I feel it's a work in progress always?
Season 3,
2019, 2020. No, 2021.
2021. Yes,
yeah, 2021. Because 2020, I did it.
2020, I was just doing the social media still.
Yeah, you were doing the social media.
That's right.
And isn't that when we started? You started doing halftime.
Yeah, I was just doing halftime.
Yeah, and then 2021 is when we started doing the show together. So I mean, Jason's been with us for a while. Hey Bryant, you want to join the team? We can always find something for you to do. I'll always open up to any faithful joining the fam. But anyway, so wrapping it up, Jason, thoughts on Brock? The floor is yours.
I still like Brock. I don't have an issue with Brock. Like I've posted throughout all the medias today, I don't give a fuck who starts as long as someone brings us number 6. And I think that's the biggest thing everybody is missing. Who cares as long as we win? Because winning cures everything, does it not? And they said across the spectrum for every sport, no matter what the problem is, as long as you're winning, no one gives a shit.
I mean,
I don't give a damn if fucking Debo has to play quarterback. I would love to see Trent Williams throw a pass.
I'd love to see Trent Williams play running back.
Exactly. But like I said, I don't want Sam Darnold simply because he's never looked good. He got beat out by Baker Mayfield, who joined the team 2 weeks before and knew absolutely nothing. So, that shows you how great he is.
That will be the only thing that will concern me, fully concern me about Trey, is if you let Sam Darnold come in this offseason and take your job after just one offseason, and you've been here since, 21, 22, 23? This is your 3rd season? Yeah. I mean, and I'm talking about simple operation of the offense. I'm not talking about things that's like, okay, Trey hasn't played quarterback enough to know that, as far as when to slide, things like that. You'll learn that. I'm talking about simply executing the play, getting the play out in the huddle, things of that nature. And you let Sam Darnold outperform you on that? Yeah, that's very concerning to me.
But when it comes to Trey and Brock, I think if you start Brock as soon as he's ready, I think at that point you have given up on Trey. I really do, from both his confidence standpoint, and it shows that you're not
the
invested
locker
in
room.
him. Yeah, exactly. Locker room. You're not invested in him overall. And so I'm of the mindset that you got to start Trey, let him run with. You got to see what you got. Either the wheels fall off and then we go to Brock or Sam kind of a thing, or he takes off and he gets somewhat worthy of all the picks at number 3 that we got for him, that we gave up for him. And that's my thing. But again, like I said, I don't care. Obviously, I'm not a professional coach in any sort of way, and these are just my opinions. So,
but I mean, I think beyond, and this is what ultimately concerns me about Sam Darnold, is I believe as long as we have my first year on YouTube was 2014. I've been calling the show since then.
Ronbo, we're going back to Ronbo, man.
Rombo, man. Yeah, he never would let me come on his show. Anyway,
Rombo's nuts, man. Like I like Rombo because Rombo's like the ultimate hype man.
There he is.
You know what I mean? Like some shows. Yeah, like I said, Rombo's the ultimate hype man. He's like and he's definitely the OG when it comes to 49ers content.
Yeah. Him, Chapman are probably the ones.
Has Chapman gone back that far?
I don't know how far. I'm just saying the OG YouTuber, whatever's I watched were, those were the OGs. Trey has to win the locker room over.
Oh, yeah.
Before they start him.
Because if you see who kind of wins the locker room right now, you kind of got to give it to Sam. Sam's hanging out with CMC, Debo, George Kittle. So in a way, Sam's kind of
Juice did a interview with Haberman and Middlecoff.
I haven't watched that one yet.
Yeah, it's actually, bro, it's so good.
Yeah, I haven't.
Juice is such an amazing interview. He gives you so in-depth answers and everything. I really do feel like I learn about the operation of the Niners when I hear Kyle Juszczyk interview. It's actually a really good interview. But one of the things he says, he actually specifically talks about the fact of that game, the fact that it was Sam Darnold, CMC, George Kittle, etc. And he said, look, Trey's beloved in our locker room, but there's a lot, and it's a fact I told you. We talked about this before, Jason, when I told you, I'm always cautious when I hear people talk about how hard a player works, how he fits in the locker, that you're not talking about football attributes. Yeah. So I say, look, if you took a vote in the locker room and said, is Trey Lance a good dude? Do you like hanging out with him? Do you like him in the locker room? I believe that you probably wouldn't find a player in there that would say no.
But you could also say that for pretty much.
But it's a lot different question that, hey, do you believe that this is the man that's going to lead this franchise, not just the offense, this franchise to our 6th Lombardi? I think that's a whole different question.
Did they ask him that?
No.
Is that one of the questions? Oh, okay.
No.
I thought you said that's one of the questions they asked him. I was like, well, that's deep.
Yeah, they wouldn't ask. That's ballsy.
Yeah. Especially if not necessarily ballsy to ask, but that's a ballsy answer to get, what are you saying right then and there?
Yeah.
But no, yes, no, maybe.
I think that if you asked him, hey, should Trey Lance be the starter and quarterback for this team? I think it's a whole different question. Yeah. You could like somebody, but not think they're the right person for the job. Hey, bro, nothing personal. I like you. You're a cool dude.
Yeah, you could be a good dude, but not be the one who's,
Yeah, but doesn't mean you're a great quarterback.
Yeah.
Especially when considering, man, so much of a quarterback's job is off field. So much of a quarterback's job is shit.
That's why Jimmy was. That's why everybody like Jimmy was so good at that shit. You know what I mean?
Jimmy was the ultimate like salesman in the sense that he could get a locker room to run through a brick wall, but ignore him all offseason.
Yep.
Like, fuck you, you're dead to me, but you're my brother, ready to go to war with me, and die for me.
Was it a snakeskin oil seller kind of thing? Was that what it is? Yeah.
He could sell some snakeskin oil.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's a special skill to be like, that much of, hey, Jimmy's our brother, and all right, bro, I'll see y'all in 6 months.
I'm gonna go hang out on the beach somewhere and work on my team. Hey, have you seen the picture of Jimmy in the Raiders uniform?
I saw the one you posted.
Dude, does he not look like he's aged about 15 years though?
There's a lot more gray in Jimmy's.
Yeah, like he put on a uniform and said, shit.
I really, truthfully, I think I think this whole situation with the failed physical and everything, I think this is aged Jimmy horrendously.
Yeah. No one's aged like Kyle, though. Kyle's still the worst.
Oh, man. Like, I'll never forget just watching. I'll be like, dude, this job is killing our coach. Like, no wonder coaches. No, truthfully, watching Kyle Shanahan, no wonder Bill Walsh burned out.
Yeah.
Could you imagine working for Eddie? Because Kyle gets jet, which, yeah, I've heard Jet say he's put shit through walls and everything. Could you imagine the stress that Eddie D would have put on Kyle Shanahan?
Yeah.
Like, go, man. They always talk about players being coach killers. Now, I think Eddie D was a coach killer. Like, man. All right, Jason, final thoughts?
Hey, man, we're pretty much done with the offseason, man. Next week, we start.
Let's fucking go.
We're there. We're going to start having some, the live broadcast with you there. I'm back full time. I've taken my break off this.
Or
so
LFG,
I'm back full time. I was going to talk to Jamie here. We'll start up the Friday shows again, probably probably within the next month. Probably right around the same time we do. I'm excited for doing the halftime reports.
Yeah. We're gonna bring back all the shows. A pregame show might be a little different this year. I'm still trying to.
Jimmy has I don't know, man. If you look at that picture, you can see some lines there that you didn't see before. So
I'm telling you. I bet
we also got to figure out how we're gonna do the Madden thing because we're both gonna be playing Madden against each other.
Yeah, we got some cool tricks coming out.
I've got the first week's meal plan.
Oh yeah, we're gonna bring in Jason. Is gonna be doing. We're gonna somehow try to figure out how to put it in.
The weight loss plan and everything.
The Jason does it. We got a bunch of shit.
So week one, a Pittsburgh staple is it's basically a steak salad with fries, but apparently it's a huge thing in Pittsburgh. So I'm like. Okay, I like it. I know. I'm like, I eat steak salads all the fucking time. Just add some fries in that motherfucker.
I actually might have. That might be another one that I have to have Bubby try.
It's simple, and I'm gonna make. I'll make the low-cal ranch and shit like that on the side.
Yeah, this is gonna be. You know what? That actually might be not bad, especially if you put it out before game. It's gonna be out before game.
Well, I'm gonna start shooting the videos for all the stuff next week. So next week I'll do week 1, then I'll do week 2. That way I don't get bogged down with it and do stuff. So I'm gonna
try to spread it out.
Yeah, get it a little bit because Thanksgiving I'm gonna have to do a turkey somehow, some way. Get a turkey in for that one. Plus, I gotta do the Seattle dog. Cincinnati I'm looking forward to because in Cincinnati they have chili spaghetti.
Yeah, I've heard that's bomb. I've heard that's really good.
That to me, that just sounds filling as a motherfucker though. Because
that's definitely all you're having type of thing.
Being from Hawaii, we eat our chili over rice all the time. Now you're just adding spaghetti.
I've never had that.
Oh, chili over rice is the shit, dude.
Huh? Maybe I'll have to try that. Tomorrow I'm gonna try to work on. I've got to start ordering my T-shirts for the season from the clothing line. So tomorrow I'm gonna try to really, really, really dedicate my show. I'm gonna try to get a new intro for y'all, for y'all shows, for my show. Try to figure out how I'm gonna do it. Whether I'm gonna just chalk up the doing the inactives and just do it from home and then leave for the game right after. If I'm just gonna do it from the stadium. If I'm gonna kind of do a in transit, like, hey, watch the pregame while I'm on my way to Levi's type of thing.
I usually post them, so you can just leave that to me.
So we'll figure it all out.
Yeah, we got it.
I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna try to get a lot of
time, man.
My girl is she's doing her a notary class tomorrow. So she's gonna be at a hotel from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. tomorrow. So I got a good 4 or 5 hours I have the whole house to myself. So I'm gonna really take a deep dive into NFR stuff and everything and try to get the season mapped out for y'all. All right, brother. We'll see you next week. We'll do our final 53 final.
Did you hear about real quick? Did you hear about Daryl Luter going on the pup list?
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna talk about.
Forgot about that.
The only one that I've seen is Lombardi talk about it, and Lombardi said that they had not disclosed exactly what the injury is.
Yeah, I haven't seen yet.
That is a little concerning because we were already thin at corner.
Yeah, but he's only been designated. So that means
he's only been designated, so he officially cannot be put on until next
tomorrow.
week.
Yeah, tomorrow.
So, it's tomorrow?
Is it tomorrow? Next week.
I thought it was next week. Okay.
Either way,
well, he can
he's just
officially
been
not be put on
designated.
yet.
Yeah.
So there is hope. Luter Jr. going on PUP, that saves Ambry Thomas's roster spot.
Depending on how bad it is, yes, I agree with you, because
I think
he
so.
still counts against the 90 right now.
Yeah.
Even if he's on PUP, he still counts.
But he won't count against the 53.
No. But if it goes towards the season and stuff like that. But for
And
right
even then, unless he proves that he's worthy of the spot, as soon as Luter Jr., even if he started the year on PUP, as soon as he gets off PUP, they're going to cut Ambry Thomas. Unless Ambry Thomas had proven them.
Depends on how he looks. But
so that's actually something interesting to keep in mind on. We will. Yeah, it's that time. I told Bubby last night, it's that time. We're going to start getting into the podcast listening, and it's going to be a 24-hour job.
I'll be I'm
so excited, baby. Oh, Jason, I went through today, and I have not heard
to this channel and Niner Smash. The Niner Smash one is just my goof off channel for the moment. That's where I was doing my gaming. You could do the Big Eats to Big Peeps. That's my show.
That's Jason's.
I
don't do any
low-cal versions of like city's food for whatever team we're playing. I find food from like their city. Like for example, last year we did like the Denver. I did a Denver omelet, but it just had like egg whites and stuff like that in it. Because look, I'm a fat guy. I'm still big. I know I don't look it, but I am half Samoan, so I'm always going to be big. But I've lost like 180 pounds in the last almost 2 years, and so I'm going to keep trying to go. People have always asked me what I've eat to lose weight, so I just started making a YouTube channel. And so I thought it was kind of cool to just do it with what cities we live in, or what cities that we're playing in.
Yeah, Jason totally came up with that idea by himself. So trust me, bro. We talk all the time, and we're always trying to come up. I don't have anything else. This is my only YouTube channel, and anything I ever really do. You got Facebook, bro. Add us on Facebook. I'm always down to chop Niners ball with everybody. I can't believe I have forgotten to do this, but I actually, before we end the show, I have to take off my Niner hat and say a big RIP. A couple of weeks ago, we lost a real rider for the show, man. This brother always, this Niner brother always listened to the show. He would always hit me up after the games. Hey, bro, what are you going to talk about on the show and everything? RIP, Robert Gonzalez. I miss you, bro.
Oh, I hadn't heard that.
Yeah. You were a real solid dude, homie. I'm so sad I never got to meet you, but I really honestly miss all our conversations we had about the Niners, bro. Like, you were a solid OG. You taught me so much of Niner football. Man, like,
I never talked to him, but I remember seeing him all over the place with our stuff.
Yeah, he would always comment on everything in the Facebook group and everything. He was a real writer for the show. I remember his sister actually went on his Facebook and posted it. And I remember I told her, I was like, my condolences so much for you, Niner sis. My heart breaks for you. The Empire lost a real one. So it took me a couple weeks to remember to say it and everything, but I wanted to do it before we got off this week. Miss you, Robert, bruh. We dedicate this season of NFR to you, brother. Hopefully it brings honor to you. And say what's up to Bill, Wyatt Tittle, Dwight Clark. Say what's up to all the legends.
Brian, put down what time your channel is, your guys' show is on Sunday. I'm gonna try and listen into your guys' depending on what time it is. I may be.
Yeah. Put that down, bro. I'll try to catch you too.
Yeah. So put your stuff up there, and we'll let it go until he gets up there.
Yeah. We're gonna go ahead and let you ride until you get it up there, bro. And then I'll go ahead and write it down.
I know I want to say it was a Saturday because I thought it was sub to his channel, but apparently I was not. So that's my bad.
Yeah, I'll go as soon as I hit the download button on this episode and everything and go out and.
I know that we're talking about the Sunday show for sure in the mornings, which I'd be down to jump on because I know usually Sunday mornings for me, I'm just at the gym and to start the day, and then I got nothing else, during the off season.
Maybe we could do maybe Sunday will be a collab or something. I don't know. We'll talk, but yeah, drop your channel, drop the time and everything, Brett, and I'll as soon as we cut the show, I'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and subscribe. But yeah, so we got a bunch of things. Jason and I are going to try to figure out how to get some Madden stuff going on.
I'm looking forward to the Madden shit.
Yeah, I got three days less than a month. I get it July 15th because I did the pre-order. August 15th. Sorry.
9 a.m. Cali time. All right. So that's okay. So that's same with me because I'm up in Seattle. All right. I should be just getting done with the gym and just about reaching home at about 9 o'clock usually on Sundays.
Yeah, 9. Yeah, I have 146 up. What's the name of the channel, bro? And we'll go ahead and flash it on the screen for you and shit. Or is it the YouTube that you're commenting from? If it's the YouTube you're commenting from, that's hella easy.
I'll pull it up in my list.
So, yeah, I'll subscribe and we'll definitely get some cross channel, shit going on. Bro, me and Jason have been trying to get people. We were trying to do the dead season this year, bro, all by ourselves, man. Whew.
Let me get you. I got you. Bam, there we go. There's his channel.
Oh, 49er Coffee Talk? I'm already subscribed.
Oh, all right.
I'm almost. Hold on. I'm pretty sure.
But then he also has his wife on there too. So I mean, they've got quite a few channels going on.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm subscribed because I know I've seen that before. Oh wait, I can't even look online.
So,
yeah,
he's got a couple of
I'll
channels.
look if I'm not. It's okay. So it's 49er Coffee Break.
Coffee Talk. Let me go back.
49er Coffee Talk. Cool. All right, I'll go ahead and we'll get all that and we'll do it. All right, bro. Any final thoughts, Jason?
Let's go, man.
Let's go. LFG, man. Bro. Let's fucking go. Next week. All right, y'all. Thank you, Jason, for joining us. Thank everybody for tuning in. Man, so fired up. Oh, can't wait, baby. We got Niner football back. Oh, bro, my mother-in-law is about to be pissed with all the noise I'm about to make this year. All right, y'all. We'll see y'all next week. But before we do that, of course, we got to remind everybody to help out Niner Faithful Radio by using our shop49ers.com affiliate link. Link will be in the description of the podcast or video. Go ahead and go to SeatGiant.com. Use the promo code Niner Faithful Radio to help out to use on all theater, concert, and promo. All theater, concert, and sporting event tickets, as well as help out the show. Man, I can't talk today. Follow us on social media at Niner Faithful Radio on Facebook, Instagram, and Tumblr, and at Niner Faithful R on Twitter. Jason does a big job managing our social media. Go ahead and see everywhere you can subscribe to the show. Go ahead and visit NinerFaithfulRadio.com/subscribe. And, I already did that. This week's special coupon code for 10% off of For the Faithful by the Faithful Season 2 apparel is The New Hope. We shall see y'all next week when we're going to do our final off-season show. I mean, technically not the off-season, right? Well, the whole team will be reporting. So it'll be the final off-season show. We'll have Niner football. It'll be amazing. Can't wait. Till then, faith, love, and happiness. Go Niners.
Weiss has just set a Super Bowl record with 12 catches. He's in motion. Montana. Touchdown, John Taylor.